Hey everyone, so today I'm going to discuss WandaVision episode 5 on a very special episode. That's the title, which I love because this is a very special episode. I screamed, I cried, it broke my brain. That's literally what happened. If you haven't already seen my live reaction, be sure to check that out. The video is up here. And as always, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern time, you can join me and watch along with me. But I'm ready to talk about this one. There's so much to unpack here, but before we get into it, I'd love it if you'd take a quick second to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's talk about it. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Okay, this episode is perfect. It's perfect, right? Like, let's be honest here. This is a perfect episode of WandaVision, just as they all seem to be. They're getting better and better and better. This one is longer. As soon as I opened up Disney Plus, I freaked out when I saw that it was 42 minutes long. Of course, that includes the year-long credits that we get, but it was much longer, which is really good. And it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth between that bubble reality, Wanda's reality, whatever you want to call it, Westview, I suppose, and then Sword, right? So it goes back and forth between the two. Now, all right, before I really, really dig into it, you guys, come on. I put it in the title, I put it in the description, but there's going to be spoilers here. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching now and come back after you've seen the episode. Okay. So, this episode is crazy. So it starts off with them, rocking the twins, and the twins won't go to sleep, and Wanda even tries to make them sleep with powers, and it doesn't work, and she's like, this is a little weird, it's not working. So, but then Agnes comes over, because of course they needed help. Agnes shows up. This is what always happens, right? In Wanda's little sitcom-y world, they need something, and Agnes shows up. And Vision is starting to be like, something is going on here, especially because Vision won't let her touch the babies, and then she stops and she looks at Wanda and she's like, do you want me to take that from the top? Should we start? Should I come back? And she grabs her bag, and Vision's like, what? And Wanda's like, what are you talking about, Agnes? What are you talking about? Holy crud, you guys. So Agnes knows that she's in this, right? She's aware at least a little bit. And she knows she's being manipulated by Wanda. And she's like, okay, do you want me to start it over, And Vision now is really starting to figure it all out. As we've seen over the last several episodes, there's always a little something that makes him realize, oh, something's going on here. Something isn't right? He always is realizing that. But this time it's he's really okay, something's going on. So then okay, this is crazy. So then a dog shows up, and the boys want the dogs. Oh, the boys age themselves, right? From twins to 5-year-olds. So then a dog comes, and they want to keep the dog. And she's like, we think, and first, her and Vision are all he's like, we're not on the same page. We think you should wait, blah, 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 blah. And then Agnes shows up with a doghouse, and he's like, there she is, showing up with something that we need, And, which is just crazy how Vision's really starting to piece this all together. It's incredible, and I love it. But, so then, they age themselves to 10 because they say we don't think you can have a dog till you're 10 years old. So they age themselves to 10, which is just insane that they just age themselves. But of course, I'm hoping that they're Speed and Wiccan. It's still interesting that they can just age themselves like that. I'm not sure that that's in their wheelhouse of powers, but sure, why not? In this reality, they control part of it too, apparently, because, or at least some part of them, because, they wouldn't listen to Wanda when Wanda tried to make them as babies go to sleep. So now she's got 2 10-year-old boys. And Vision goes off to work. And the kids even point out that it's a Saturday, and why is Daddy at work? And, well, he needed a distraction because he's starting to figure it out. And Wanda's like, just go away. She just doesn't want him to figure it out. And she doesn't want to deal with it, is honestly what it is, right? She doesn't want to deal with the reality of what has happened. So in the outside world, so to speak, we see Sword piecing all this stuff together. They have found out, and they do show footage of Wanda coming and stealing Vision's body. It's on security cameras. She took it, and she's now reanimated him, which was against his will, as well as against the Sokovia Accord number, blah, 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 that Jimmy Woo points out. Now, also, this Sword director is still super shady, and my friend Ren Geekness has a theory that he's Mephisto, and he definitely could be. There's something up with him either way. This guy is not right, and he is wanting to basically destroy all this. So they decide to send in a drone, but a drone that doesn't need to be modified, right? They realize that she's modifying everything to fit the time, basically, because Monica has discovered that her clothes that she wore when she came out were actually full Kevlar, they were what she was wearing when she came in. They just have changed appearances, and now the appearances have stayed that way, basically, which is, there's just so many crazy little pieces that you need to put together and it's all starting to come together, but at the same time, my mind, like my brain is broken, and there's so much that has changed. It's insane. I had so many theories that are out the window, but now I have like 1,000 more theories. You know what I'm trying to say? So anyways, now they send this drone in, and they don't see it on the screen. So they're saying like Wanda's manipulating it, right? It's not on the TV screen. It's not in that shot, but she's looking at it, and she's got these eyes, and they like set off a missile, which Monica did not know was going to happen, and Monica was unhappy about it. Also, Monica totally threw some shade at Captain Marvel, at Carol Danvers. Let's just put that out there. She totally threw shade at her. Maybe we'll figure out what's about that later. She's also texting someone to come and help, too. So, I don't know. It's all crazy. Who could it be? I don't know. Could be so many people. But now we've got Wanda ticked off. They just sent a missile into her. But then they say there's a breach. They go out to the bubble line. And Wanda, crazy Wanda, comes walking out all ticked off with these. And she's got the drone, and is this yours, the missile? And she's all mad. Oh, she's as mad can be. And I don't blame her, you know. And she's got her Sokovian accent back. And, you know, she's basically like, leave me alone. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. And they're like, well, there's people in there trapped. Like, you're not, you know, you're hurting these people. They're trapped in there, Wanda. It's not okay. And she's like, and they say, what do you want? And she's like, I have what I want. Leave me alone. Right? And also when Monica was describing what it felt like to be under Wanda's control, she said she felt like she was drowning and being held down by grief, a very powerful grief, which I think we all know that's kind of what is fueling Wanda here. Most definitely. She's definitely definitely grieving. I mean, she's lost her parents, she's lost her brother, and now she's lost Vision, and she's just snapped, and she's just not having it anymore. She wants a happy little life, and she's creating it for herself the best she can. I mean, and Monica even pointed out, she's quarantined herself, right? She could have done this to the whole world, but instead she made it a perfect little bubble, and yes, the people of Westview are being held hostage. However, you know, she could have done it to way more people, and she hasn't. So, I mean, I guess that's like she's sort of a villain. I mean, it's not nice what she's doing to these people, but I don't think she realizes how badly she's hurting them. I really don't think she realizes that. And now Vision's at work, and they get computers, and they plug it in, and there's this like sword message, and it's talking about the Maximoff anomaly, and he's like, what is happening? And he touches Norm's head, and Norm pops back out, the actual, I forget the guy's, what they said his name is, because it's not Norm, but he starts talking, and he's saying, you have to stop her, it hurts, I have to call my sister, where's my phone? She's taking care of my dad, he's sick, like I need to call my family, what's happening? And then Vision like snaps him back. So he's saying he's hurt, she's in his head, and now is it Wanda? Yeah, it's most definitely Wanda. I've seen some people speculating it's Dottie, but I think it's Wanda at this point. But I think Wanda doesn't realize what she's doing to people, right? She doesn't realize how badly she's hurting them. I truly don't think she does. I maybe she does, but I don't think she would be doing this if she thought she was actually hurting people. So cut back to Wanda walking back in, and the boys are there, and they're 10, and they're looking for the dog. They can't find the dog, and there's Agnes has found the dog dead. And she's holding its body, but it's wrapped up in like a blanket, so you don't see anything. Don't worry. But the boys are about to age up to ignore it, and she gets down and she tries to tell them, like she's down at their level. I love this mom moment. And as a mom, I love it. She's saying, it hurts, right? Death hurts. I understand that you're grieving, but don't run away. That's the easy thing to do. It's easy. You just want to age up so it doesn't hurt anymore, but don't do that. And they say, Mom, you can fix anything. Fix the dead. And she's like, that I can't do that. That's not right, basically. But she just did that with Vision. But her face, you can tell she's like thinking she can't bring people back. And Agnes even looks at her and goes, you can do that? So I don't know. I've had this theory that Agnes is Agatha Harkness all along, but I just don't know anymore because it's something about her. Like, yes, she understands a lot. She kind of knows what's going on, especially with her, like, do you want me to take it from the top? She's just wanting to please Wanda. But she seems genuinely surprised and doesn't know that Wanda can reanimate and bring people back from the dead. Now, does that mean she's not Agatha Harkness? No. It just feels, I don't know. She didn't feel as shady this episode as she has in previous ones. That can definitely change. Who knows? There's definitely something going on with her that's a little different than everyone else, where she can kind of know that this isn't 100% real, right? And now Vision comes walking along and he sees that the dog's dog is dead. They get home. He buries the dog, and they kind of have this little fight. He's like, I talked to Norm, like actual Norm. You're hurting them, Wanda. What's going on? You can't control me like you're controlling everyone else. And she goes, can't I? And she starts the credits rolling, which is nuts. And he's following her, basically saying, like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? And it's that scene where you see him in the air and her in the air, and they're at each other. And then he goes, I'm scared. Which, like, oh, that got me. For him to be like, I'm scared. And I'm like, wow. Okay, like doesn't know really, and because he doesn't know what's going on. He says, I can't remember my life before Westview. What's outside Westview? I'm scared, Wanda. And then I feel like he's starting to get this breaking point with her. He's starting to get her to realize, like, people are hurt. I understand you're, like, let's work this out. Like, what are you doing? And he's about to break through to her. I really, truly feel like he was about to break through to her to stop all of this. And the doorbell rings. And she goes, that wasn't me. And he's like, I want to believe you, but I'm ignoring statistics at this point. In other words, I feel like maybe you're controlling this. And the doorbell rings again. And I truly don't think it's either her way subconscious that is doing this, or I don't know. It just didn't feel like her. She answers the door, and we get friggin' Evan Peters as Quicksilver, Pietro. And even Darcy points out she recast Pietro, because this is the Fox version, of course, not the MCU version. I think he's the better Quicksilver, so I was hyped. I was excited. But Wanda, you look at her and she just tears up a little, and then he's like, what? Long lost bro can't squeeze his sister. Like, I don't know. He's got this 80s, 90s attitude, whatever. And they hug and embrace, and her tears and her face, and I think she's truly, genuinely shocked. And she's like, Pietro? So I don't know if this is her somehow bringing him in, if this is a multiverse thing, because we know this is leading into Doctor Strange Madness, Multiverse of Madness, whatever the heck it's called. We know it's leading into Spider-Man 3, which feels like a multiverse thing. I just don't know if this is her. Could it be Mephisto? Could it be... Because I feel like she was about to be like, okay, all right, I see what I'm doing here. This wasn't my intention. I mean, even the commercial tagline during this episode was, for messes you didn't mean to make, or something along those lines, right? So, I don't know. This feels like someone was trying to stop her from fixing her mess, so to speak, right? Someone to stop her from... Maybe she was going to take down her bubble and set everyone free, and someone doesn't want her to do that. That's kind of my thought. Or it's her subconscious not wanting her to do that. I don't know. You guys tell me all your theories down below in the comments. This episode was so good. I loved it. My brain is broken because I had so many theories. Half are out the window. I've got all new ones. I don't know what's going on anymore. But this was amazing. I was so excited to see Evan Peters. And yeah, you guys let me know what you think's going on. I don't know. It could be a million things. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Always, every Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, during WandaVision's release, I am reacting live to the episodes. So be sure to join me next week for episode 6, where things are sure to get even crazier. And maybe we'll get an even longer episode. Who knows? I'm hyped. I can't wait. This has been just such a wild ride so far, and it's just getting better and better, and we're just getting started. I cannot wait for more WandaVision, man. They are killing it. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. It's the best. That's it. The end. You can't ever change my mind on that. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. I'll see you next time.